The most important thing right now is Mexico is open for business in the mining sector, and investment into underground and open pit mining is most welcome. So we are at the threshold of great things for Sonoro, and I believe as well great things for Mexico, because the stimulation that is awaiting the final approval of the mining code and the regulations will unleash several $billion worth of investment into the mining sector in Mexico. And we're proud and we're fortunate to be part of that.
Ken MacLeod, Sonora Gold. How are you, my friend?
Andy, it's great to see you again, and I'm in good shape. Ready to
Yeah.
have a lovely chat with you.
Yeah, no, it's great to see you. And you were up in Toronto, up at PDAC. And I wish I would have known that. I was up at PDAC. I left a little early, but I would love to have seen you again in person. It's always fun to see you. Tell me about PDAC, your experience up there, and how that fitted you.
Andy, PDAC was the most successful conference we have had in many, many years. Over the past 4 or 5 years, there's been no representation from the Mexican government because of the anti-mining philosophy of the previous administration. That has all changed now. The new president, Claudia Scheinbaum, has indicated to the world, and has repeated over and over to the world and the investors, that your investments are safe in Mexico. And she was inaugurated on October the 1st. And there's been a sea change in the attitude of the government towards the miners in Mexico. We have assurances now that the backlog of approvals for environmental impact statements are being attended to. And sure enough, I would probably classify as many as 28 projects over the past 6 weeks have been approved. Now, most of these projects are existing mines that have applied for, over the past probably 5 years, for approvals to expand their operations. And the wonderful thing about this is it's not just underground mining that are getting approved. It's also open pit mining. So there's no more proposed ban on open pit mining into the future. That is gone. Now, in the meantime, back in 2022, or I believe it was 2023, the former government had implemented a new mining code, but they never, ever worked out the regulations to accompany that mining code. So it's nobody could ever figure out how the heck to implement this until President Scheinbaum came in and appointed a committee comprised of senior officials from the government and the industry under the organization CAMIMEX, which represents the miners in Mexico. They're getting together, they have been getting together now for several months to work out these new regulations that will make sense for the government and for industry, so that we can all cooperate and we can all thrive. But the most important thing right now is Mexico is open for business in the mining sector, and investment into underground and open pit mining is most welcome. So we are at the threshold of great things for Sonoro, and I believe as well great things for Mexico, because the stimulation that is awaiting the final approval of the mining code and the regulations will unleash several $1 billion worth of investment into the mining sector in Mexico. And we're proud and we're fortunate to be part of that.
Yeah, no, you really are. And I think that was really reflective. And I want to talk to John about that in a second, but that's really reflective in what all of the stock prices and all the mining companies throughout Mexico, specifically to yours, because you're an open pit mining company. John, comment about that. You guys have had quite the run, and just full disclosure, I am a shareholder, a proud shareholder, as well as Sonora is a sponsor to naturalresourcestocks.net. But John, comment about the rise in your stock price. When I saw you, I don't know, it was 5 months ago in Florida. I think you're around 3 or 4 cents a share. Now you're sitting at about 14 cents a share. So you've had quite the run. You're looking at a 3 or 4 bagger as is. And yeah, how did that happen? And comment about that.
Well, good to see you again, Andy, and lovely to talk to you. Ken really gave you the reasons as to why actually is where they are. Like, we have, as you know, the benefit of a very strong shareholder base. We're very proud of the fact that we have a really significant European shareholder base, And as of the last 5 months since we met you, I think we've established quite a good following in the US. And we've seen that evidence in the US market, et cetera. So I say we are where we are as a result of when there was a change in the president in Mexico. We saw a lot of our European shareholders decide to basically average down, to build on that share price. And what we've seen of late with the gold price moving up, those shareholders now are adding to their positions. And then for us, that's a great situation. When I look at, say, our trading volumes, January was 6.4 million shares. February, I think it was at 9 million. In March already, we're at 7.5 million shares. And what we really like about it, Andy, is that we're not spiking. The old sort of fashion way, you're going up the stairs slowly. So we do not have big promotions. You know that we're not a big promotion company. We like people to understand the company. We try to talk them through the reasons to why they should invest, etc. So we have a combination of things going on there. We have gold price. We have the Mexican situation. And unfortunately, that issue between the US and Mexico and Canada seems to have drawn a lot of people more into investing into Mexico. So overall, what we see in our share price is stability, which we like. We like the fact that in the last few days, we've traded about 3 or 4 million shares, and we're at that 13, 14 cent level. And we can't predict what's going to happen. But what we can say is that we're comfortable with our shareholder base. We like the fact that we're expanding it. And we like the fact that people are looking at us as a real company. And once people get over the fact that it's not a promotion, that is a real project, you have real people behind it. And the fact that the insiders have got 24, 25% of the company. And by the way, our average cost is about 15 cents a share. So we're here for the company. And what we do, as you know, is if money's required, we advance money. We have unsecured loans to the company, no conversion rights, et cetera, et cetera. So I would say our share price reflects the fact of gold. We have a strong shareholder base who believes in the company. And these are people see that production is on the horizon. Now, when I say that on the horizon, I'll be very careful here. First of all, we have to get the MIA. Then we have to go to the development plan. And that is the one where Ken, in his sort of projections, in theory, we could move to production within about 13, 15 months of receiving the MIA. And if you look at the fact that the previous PEA was always on the basis of $1,800 an ounce, my goodness me, there's an extra $1,200 that's now sitting on the table. And our capital cost, which was at 15.5 million US initially, and then a sustaining capital cost of 15.5. But then let's just say the capital cost has gone up to 20 million. Still on a market cap point of view, it's a healthy company, good project, good people. And I know we says like a broken record, but we truly believe we have those 5 components that make a company successful. The people, highly qualified, committed, their financial commitment in terms of ownership, the project that's got a lot of, we believe, upside. We have a business plan. Now, we're fortunate to have a business plan. So when we speak to people, very often they're surprised that we as a small business have a business plan. Well, that's because we're going to go into production. We don't have to wait to be taken over. And then, of course, access to capital. And we've always demonstrated our ability to raise money. All of our finances have been non-brokered. They've always been oversubscribed. And of course, we take a position if necessary.
Yeah. About all that, I would just comment to all of my listeners and viewers here is I met John and Ken about 5 months ago at a conference in Florida. And what really impressed me, and correct me if I'm wrong here, John, is the company needed just to get through this patch with what was going on with the permitting process in the Mexican government. That looks like it's been resolved. You had loaned the company non-interest bearing loan over $1 million just to make sure that they had enough capital. The company had enough capital, again, just to go through all of this. And that really meant a lot to me, to both of your guys' character, that you wouldn't take it out on the shareholders. You didn't dilute with that. And so that meant a great deal to me. Another thing that was very impressive about you guys, and again, I sound like a broken record here, is everything was based on $1,800 gold, which is, that's, I don't know where 18, I don't remember when there was 1,800 gold. I'm just trying to go back. That has to be at least 18 months to 2 years ago. And the reason I said that, and I watch this every single day, but your margins have just really exponentially increased, and that I can't really put a number on that, just because it's mind blowing just how much your margins have increased. So that's again really impressed me about Sonora Gold, and talking with both John and Ken. I would like to ask Ken this, moving forward here. Is there anything that you can talk about? Again, that's a very key word, can talk about, that's coming out in the next few months that might be a conduit to get us up the stock price even higher. And if you can't comment, that's not a problem.
Well, Andy, I think I can comment a little bit here. Obviously, on the permitting side, the regulators in Mexico City are working feverishly to overcome the backlog of projects that have been held up, some of them for years. We went through the permitting process in 2022, and we fully expected by the end of 2022 to have the permit to build the mine in place. But of course, the government decided at that point that everything would go into the deep freeze. Now, we are working closely with the regulators in Mexico City to overcome that and be able to move forward to achieving the approval on the MIA. We are also looking at the price of gold. Of course, it's a great stimulation for investors to come into the company. And I think it's astonishing, as John alluded to earlier, about the PEA we produced in August of 2023 was done on the basis of $1,300 gold. And at that time, the net present value after tax was $48 million US, which equates to over $75 million Canadian. And an internal rate of return at 5% discount was also about 45%. So throw that out the window now, because gold at $3,000 eclipses anything that we previously published. So we're now in the process of just starting the work to update the PEA. Whether we go to a pre-feasibility or not, time will tell. But for the moment, we're focusing on updating the PEA. And it'll be done on a price of gold that is more relevant to the calculations for today. So that is going to have a significant impact on the shareholders' perception of the project and the company, obviously. And so we're perfectly poised right now to take advantage of when the MIA is approved, or the environmental impact statement is approved. Our team is in place to finalize the mine plan, which is 90% completed anyhow, and then proceed towards starting the pre-construction, getting the site cleared. It generally will take us anything from 10 to 13 months to complete the mine and be up and running and start the operation. And so our team is focused on getting to that point. And we have a technical team that is capable of doing that and has done it many, many times over in Mexico. So we're ready for the Mexican government to make the next step, which is providing us with a permit.
Yeah, it sounds like you guys, or I should say we're right at the goal line here, ready to punch it through. So congratulations to all of us and all of the shareholders. But I also want to stress it's not too late with $3,000 gold. And once this permit is approved, you're probably, and this is just me talking to the audience. And again, I am biased. I am an investor. So I have a lot of skin in the game in this, but I see a lot of upside. You're not too late at all. In fact, I was right on time. And if you've been holding on to the stock, you're early, but that's part of mining. But it looks like all of those people that have patiently been waiting are going to reap the benefit. John, do you have any final thoughts on any of this, and just what you want to leave investors with, or potential investors with?
Yeah, I'd like people to understand that we are not a promotion. We're actually running a business. And that is why we have this strong support from the Europeans. And I think the US guys that you introduced us to, and others in the States here, recognize that this is not the run-of-the-mill investment promotion. This is a business. And if anything, I would say to people, do your due diligence and go to Sonora's website. And there's a double-sided document there, which is called Mexico's Next Gold Mine. Why Sonora Gold is distinctive in the junior mining sector. We've stuck firmly to that. And what we I'm very, very conscious of is a businessman. We follow things very closely, very, very closely. And in terms of the shareholders, it's been suggested to us several times, oh, roll the stock back, roll the stock back. And we say, why? Why? Everybody came in to support us in the beginning. Why should they now be penalized? Because we go, well, we have no intention of rolling it back. The loans we have with the company are put up in good faith to avoid dilution for the protection of all the shareholders. And selfishly, we hold 25% of the shares. So greed, no need to roll it back. It's just be as it is. So I would suggest strongly, if anybody's listening and they're looking at the company, go to the website, go to that document. Always feel free to contact Ken or myself, and we'll be open and transparent about who we are, where we are, our history, and where we see the company going.
Excellent. On that, I think we'll close. John, can you just give your website address and then also your tickers where people can buy you?
Well, the website is sonorogold.com, and the tickets are SGO in Canada. In the States is a QCOB, is SMOFF, and over in Europe there, in Frankfurt is 23SP. I have to go to those exchanges, but it's relatively easy to find at sonorogold.com.
Yep. Excellent. I'll put all of this in the show notes, both on YouTube as well as Apple Podcast and Spotify. Gentlemen, great to see you. It really is, as always. And let's have you on again in the next 2 to 4 weeks.
Thank you, Andy. And we're looking forward to visiting with you in May at your conference. And that's going to be an exciting time for us.
Yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to it. By the way, we got a huge conference coming to, well, I mean, huge is, there's actually going to be a lot more buyers than sellers, if you would. So whoever's going to be there is going to be treated very well. And I'm very proud to say that you guys will be coming, and really looking forward to seeing you both and spending some time with you here in Atlanta.
Thank you, Andy.
Thanks a lot, Andy.
Thanks, gentlemen.